sewer facility. This form is going to be used if the property has a well or septic system in place. You as a list buyer's agent will know you have a well or septic system by looking at by first reviewing MLS. Remember, Matt, MLS, agent remarks, attachments, tax records. But let's start, we go in that order, right? So first we're gonna look at MLS. We're gonna scroll down. It says water and sewer. It says septic tank well. So look, it looks like we got a well or septic. Wonderful. Then, and you can also look at agent remarks to see if they have any specific details or more details about the well or septic system. Then you also want to go to attachments, because it's the seller's responsibility. If you look at this form, you as a buyer's agent cannot fill this form out, and you do not have your client sign this form first, okay? Because you need to, your buyer needs to know what this is. The seller is going to be the person that's going to be able to indicate this stuff, the type of treatment, the type of distribution system, the approximate location of the drain, the installer, the approximate age. Your buyer is not going to know this. This needs to be filled out by the seller before you have your buyers sign this, okay? Also, information about approximate date, the date tank was last pumped. Seller's aware of any defects in maintenance. They need to know this. This needs to be filled out by the seller before you have the buyer signs this, okay? A good listing agent would have this actually filled out during the listing agreement and attached to MLS. Let's see what we got here. Do we have that? Attachments. Look, you saw we had a well or septic. Let's see, does she have it attached? Yes, she does. Good job, Miss Agent. She has this already filled out. So because this form is needed when you write your contract, you'll just take this, download it, put in dot loop, and then put your client's signature in there. But when you're looking at this, make sure that the client has addressed everything. If they don't know it, they put unknown, but they have put something in everything. If there's something missed, I would say, hey, Mr. Buyers, Mr. Seller's agent, can you have your client answer this question? There you go. And then you put your buyer's signature. But you always have the seller, have this given to you by the seller first before your client signs it, okay? But that's it right there. I have it in here just in case it wasn't attached. I keep it on you keep it in your checklist, and you can download it and send it to the listing agent and say, hey, we need this filled out, okay? All right, but that's kind of it about on-site sewer facilities. Guys, don't think just because a property's in a mud, it doesn't have an on-site sewer facility. I've seen properties on sewer that had a mud or on city water, and they still had an on-site sewer, because guess what? That possibly somebody else owned the home a long time ago, or the property a long time ago, and they had a house with a well and septic, and all of a sudden the property got, the surrounding area got converted into city, and they still had that well and septic. There's still rules and regulations about that, using it, so you want to kind of be aware of that, because a lot of my clients that have well and on city and water, they usually use the well water and stuff like that to maybe just water the grass or whatever. They can do whatever they want, but they need to talk to the city, local principalities, to see what they can and cannot do, okay? If they have any additional questions, testing water and stuff like that, to see if it's there's a lot of things they can look into, but first I will go to the city and see what they can and cannot do. But this needs to be filled out. For the most part, this form needs to be filled out by the seller first. If you have any questions, let me know.